take another trip. Gonna head to downtown Detroit and see how our full self-driving beta is working. Okay, going downtown Detroit. And by the way, my camera's a little squirrely here. Turn it a little bit. I think that's better. That looks more straight. Okay. Got the camera a little lower this time so we can see straight out the front window. Last time I was up a little high. And I was having trouble getting things going last time, but that's what happens sometimes to start up. It's a sunny day. I forgot to put my filter in. I was going to use my polarizing filter. And of course I left that in the house. So the first thing we're going to do, I had some trouble right out of the house, right out of the driveway, going over to Woodward. And by the way, sorry for the jiggling. I've got my camera's on a long tether. It's probably going to fall off the ceiling pretty soon. But the first thing we're going to check is going across Woodward. Let's see. Because we had some trouble. There's a left turn lane and a straight ahead lane, and they're close together. They're probably not regulation as far as the Department of Transportation is concerned. So the car gets confused as to what lane to be in. So I'm going to give it a destination. Let's see. There's a KLM bike shop, Birmingham. Going to go to KLM bike shop, which is right on Woodward.
Now turn right onto Oak Boulevard.
There we go. Just got a little startup thing going here. So we got to make the right turn here onto Oak. And it's creeping forward. And it's making a right. A little squirrely, but it did it okay. I increased the speed here. I didn't have the top speed set right.
In 500 feet, turn right on.
I got to go right on Woodward, and let's see which lane it takes here. See, it's going to the left lane, going to the left-hand turn lane. This thing is squirrely. Okay, and there's a car behind us. Kind of wondering what's going on. It did ultimately get in the right lane, and I didn't intervene because it went straight from the left turn lane, and that was not good. So that's something that I gotta flag. I flagged it. Okay. So my ultimate aim is to go down to Detroit and see how this thing does in Detroit, because in 10.3.1, when I first got this full self-driving, this car was it was trying to kill me on every other block, and so it was doing some strange things. And there was a guy behind me in a BMW i3, and you know, when you see these people, some of these other cars, they want to get a little belligerent with you. So anyway, so I'm going to take it out of autopilot because I wanted to see how it made that crossing of Old Woodward and then getting onto Woodward, going to the right. And again, it was as I thought it would be. It gets confused at that corner where there's a left turn lane and a straight ahead lane right there mashed together. like I say, it's probably not regulation, Department of Transportation regulation, but you know, it's clearly marked on the street. One is left turn and one is straight ahead. But I kind of think maybe the car is not seeing those lane markings on the street. Anyway, that could be the case. But we are heading down Woodward. I don't have it in full self-driving right now because I just wanted to see how it did that cross onto
In 1,000
Woodward.
feet, make a U-turn to stay on Woodward
And
Avenue.
I am not any longer going to the KLM bike shop, so I can cancel out of that. I got to put a new destination in here so we can do the full self-driving. So I think I'm going to put Anita's Kitchen in Ferndale, which is just a straight shot down Woodward, and we'll see how that works out. So let's see. Navigate to Anita's Kitchen in Ferndale. And we're pulling that up.
Drive southeast on Woodward Avenue
Okay.
for 4.5
So now we'll
miles.
put it back in full self-driving. Uh-oh. It's not letting me do that right now. There we go. Now it's in full self-driving. I goose our maximum speed back up to 45, which is the speed limit. And we're just heading straight down Woodward. And Anita's Kitchen is right on Woodward in Ferndale. So as I say, it's just a straight shot down the street. I want to ultimately have us go to a destination in Detroit. But if I just give the destination, it's going to try to take me on a road I don't want to go on from where I am now. Probably try to take me on the highway. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to give it a waypoint on Woodward, and I'll give it another waypoint on Woodward, and then when I get into the city, I'll give it a waypoint to where I want to go in the city of Detroit. Okay? It's a nice day, sunny day. Sunny day. Anyway, it's a sunny day. And we got a yellow light up ahead at 13 Mile Road, and now it's red, and now the car is stopping, which is a good thing. That's what it should do. So, again, you don't get a much easier situation than this, just heading straight down Woodward Avenue in the right lane. It's kind of boring, but you know, we just trying to get to the city right now. And after we get to Anita's Kitchen, or when we get close to Anita's Kitchen, I'm going to take it out of FSD again. Okay, it's taken off. I'm going to take it out of FSD and pick another destination in the city to go to. And there's a car just crossing in front of us. Turning right, the car sees it, and he's slowing down a little too much. But that's okay. Rather be too cautious than not cautious enough. But I just crossed right in front of us and turned right. So the car picked that up, of course. That's what you would expect. And now we're just heading down Woodward. Speed limit's 45. I have the maximum speed set to 45. We are doing 45. And of course, people are passing us. Because that's how it goes. Now it's saying upcoming lane change. I think it's going to want to get over to the left-hand lane for some reason. Get out of the right lane, but there's cars coming, so it's not doing it. And now it's not saying up, now it's saying lane change again. But you know, there's a car behind us. If I really wanted to make a lane change, what I would do is I would speed up a little bit and get in front of the other car. Now there's no car behind us in this lane, so, but it's not saying lane change anymore, so I guess it's satisfied. Now it's saying upcoming lane change again, but now there's a car in that left-hand lane. Now let's see what happens. Saying lane change, and it's slowing down. Now it's getting over to the left. Yeah, and the Taycan just passed us on the left. Porsche Taycan doesn't have full self-driving, but it's a nice car. I used to own, I've had 5 Porsches. I love Porsche, but the value for money in this electric segment, I don't feel they're there yet, but it's, you know, a beautiful car. I love it. May own one again at some point. Now we're getting over to the left even further. The car is doing this all by itself, and so you know, we're making a little adventure out of heading down Woodward. So when you get further down Woodward here, going toward Pleasant Ridge, there's an underpass that goes under the freeway, and there is a surface street also where you don't have to take the underpass. You can stay on the upper level. I don't quite know how that works. Anyway, it looks like the car wants to take the underpass because it's over in the left-hand side of the road. So I think that's what it's going to do. We'll see. And again, the car's still doing 45. Speed limit's 45. Got some people passing me. Sometimes on the right, sometimes on the left. But I'm not pushing it because this is my 10-year-old kid that I'm teaching how to drive. And you don't try to tell your kid, hey, speed up.
Now keep left to take Woodward Avenue.
So it's telling me, you know, the navigation said keep left to take Woodward Avenue. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take the underpass going under Highway 696. It's a multi-level thing here. Yeah, okay. So like the middle level up here is 696. I never really noticed this before. And then, but Woodward Avenue, there's the left-hand side of Woodward Avenue goes under 696, but there's another upper part that goes over 696. That's kind of cool. I imagine back in the day, people probably used to come out here just to see this intersection. He thought it was so cool to see this exchange between 696 and Woodward Avenue, M1. And you know, I don't know if you all are aware, if I mentioned it at all, but we're coming up on this traffic here. Let's make sure the car slows down. It's slowing down. I don't know if people are aware that this section of Woodward Avenue up ahead here, my buddy Reggie is always fond of pointing out, it's the first section of paved road in the country. The first section of paved road in the country. And Woodward Avenue is known as M1, Michigan 1. It's a state road. And so it was the first state road, M1. And that's what we're on. And that goes right from the suburbs down to the heart of Detroit. I think I'm going to call this video Tesla D. Tesla D. Because we're in the Tesla, we're heading into the D. Now, the speed limit here is 35. The maximum speed has dropped to 35, and we're actually doing 35. But we're coming up on Anita's Kitchen. It's going to be on the right, and I don't want to stop there. So I'm gonna drop out of full self-driving again and just keep going. And we're going to have to pick another destination that we want to go to.
Now your destination is on the right.
Yeah, we just passed Anita's Kitchen. Wonderful Mediterranean food here in Ferndale, Michigan. Wonderful. One of my favorites. Now, I think the next destination I'm going to set is the Fisher Theater, because that's right near the original General Motors building. The iconic General Motors Towers used to be the General Motors Towers. Now it's a state building. But I'm going to set the destination to the Fisher Theater because it's across the street from there, kind of catty corner to there. And that's going to take us down to Detroit. It'd be kind of fun to take the Tesla on a full self-driving mode to the old General Motors building. So let's tell the car. Navigate to the Fisher Theater in Detroit. Okay. 3011
Drive
East
southeast
Grand
on
Boulevard.
Woodward Avenue for 6.2 miles.
Yep, and it's going to keep us on Woodward. So we're going to go back into full self-driving mode right now. We're back in it. Boost the maximum speed back up to 45. We're heading over Livernois. I'm sorry. We're heading over 8 Mile Road. You know the movie 8 Mile. We're heading over 8 Mile. And into the deep. And now we are in the city of Detroit because we just crossed over 8 Mile. And now the car is slowing down and stopping at this blinking yellow. It's not stopping, it's slowing down. And it's creeping up to the next light. Interesting to see how it handles these lights kind of cautiously. And so, we're headed down. Headed down to the town. We ain't trying to mess around. Yeah. So, I'm not from Detroit. I'm from Flint. So, all these Detroit landmarks and stuff, these areas, they mean less to me than they do to a native Detroiter. And a native Detroiter can call stuff out better than I can. Oh, there's an arrow here. Let's see what the car does if it gets over. Oh, it's gonna plow me right into that. Looked like it was gonna plow me right into those stanchions, construction stanchions. I don't trust it, so I had to pull it out. So, construction is something that this thing doesn't really deal with very well yet. I'm gonna put it back into mode. So now we're back into full self-driving. So we were coming up on those, construction stanchions. There was a big blinking arrow to the right. There's construction stanchions or blocking off the road. And I've noticed this before where the car just doesn't respond to that. Now, any human being, you know, my 10-year-old, if I had a 10-year-old, would see that. My 13-year-old would certainly see that and slow down. She might not know what to do, might not do the right thing, but she started slowing down before she got right up on those things. So, you know, this is why I believe it's going to be a while. It's going to be a minute before this full self-driving is really there, you know. And I understand about exponential capability increase and that sort of thing. I understand, but there are so many squirrely cases out here. He's getting over so many squirrely cases that you know, it's just going to take it, when the car is that capable, when artificial intelligence is that capable, it's going to be a scary day. Now we're coming up, we're in the right lane. There's people parked in the right lane up here. So I know what it's going to do. I'm going to take it out because there's a car coming up. It would pull right up to that thing, up to that truck, and see it would stop, and it would stop, and I'll be stuck right there. If the car was smart, it would have seen that vehicle just sitting there, and it would have got over, and there'd be no big whoop. But it didn't. So what it would have done is whiz right up to it and stopped, probably, you know, at a pretty high rate of deceleration, and it would have sat there and waited until it saw nothing else coming, and then it would have gotten over into the next lane. I'm positive that's what it would have done, and that's not very intelligent, artificial or not. So I'll put it back in full self-drive because we're going to the Fisher Theater. So now we're back in full self-driving mode. We're actually going through the city of Highland Park, which is fully encircled, fully enclosed by the city of Detroit. It's interesting. So we're still headed down Woodward. Still just going on a straight line toward Grand Boulevard, which is where both the General Motors building and the Fisher Theater are. So now we're heading up to a stoplight here. We're on top of the Davison Freeway. KFC. Got people here coming off the Davison. We're up here at the light. So you can see that there have been a few disengagements just coming down Woodward Avenue, and just for situations that a human being would recognize and take the appropriate action for. Now it says stop. Oh, not up. That truck pulled out. He wasn't supposed to pull out. You know, we got the light, but he pulled out, so I pull it out of full self-driving. People do things all the time they're not supposed to do. Now I put it back in full self-driving. But that truck saw that I wasn't pulling away from the light right away. So he said, hey, I'm gonna do the right turn on red, and just pull right out there in the intersection. And you know, these are things that people do in real life. So the disengagements continue apace. Okay, now we have some cars in the right lane there parked again, and this car is not going over there like it did before, so that's a good thing. let's see. Our speed limit is 30. I actually have our maximum speed set to 35, and we're doing 36. No, I got maximum speed set to 36. I pulled it back to 35. You can see people still passing us. But, you know, 35 is pretty safe right here. So I'll leave it there. Got going out. Turn the left. This stuff here should be, this is easy. Just going straight down Woodward. I should have been, here's a guy pulling out into the traffic. He sees him, he's slowing down. I should have been tapping the camera to record. Back up again. I should have been tapping the camera to record for Tesla, tapping the screen to record these incidents, but I forgot. Doing that. And we're at the light coming here. We're back in Detroit, by the way. Just past the Chicago Boulevard. Chicago. Oh, now it's getting in the right lane. Why it's getting in the right lane again, I don't know, because it's going to come up on this parked vehicle. Right, stop the vehicle, and there it is. That's what it's gonna do. See, that vehicle is not moving, it's not going anywhere, so I'm gonna pull it out of full self-driving. This guy just wants to go over to the right lane, but if there's somebody, you know, sitting there parked in the lane, he's gonna just sit there. So I don't know what he'd do in New York with all the double parking. My goodness gracious. So won't go back into full self-driving yet. There we go, we're back in. We are back. Now it's getting back in the right lane. This bad boy just wants to be in the right lane. He doesn't know that in Detroit, on Woodward, in this section of town, you don't just cruise along the right lane. Now this is saying the right lane ends. Now let's see what, and there's a vehicle with an arrow on it up ahead, telling you to get over. It's not gonna get over. This fool might be coming out. He's stopping because he sees this car that's stuck out in the roadway. And there's another car stuck. I had to take it out because this guy was being aggressive. Okay. So we're out of full self-driving. I'm not gonna bother to report that. Okay. We're just tooling along in the D. Arrow up here.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto West Grand Boulevard.
Okay. That's interesting. There's the Q line streetcar up there, and it just went out of its service depot. There's the police. Just went by. And once we get past this sign, I'm going to put it back into full self-driving just to see it make the turn on Grand Boulevard. Okay. We're back in full self-driving. We're coming up to Grand Boulevard, but there's construction on the right. And whoops, nope, it's trying to get over in that right lane again, right where the construction is. So I had to take it out again. So we're just sitting here, and there's a construction barrier in the right lane, right at Grand Boulevard. And so the car was trying to get over to that right lane, and it would just pull up to that barrier. I don't know if it run into the barrier or stop, probably stop, but that's not what it should do, because you can see the barriers here. You don't want to go up there and get trapped. And so what you need to do is
Now
just
turn right onto West
go around the
Boulevard.
barrier and go up the lane, but you know the car is not smart enough to do that. So now we're going to go to a different location. We're going to navigate to a different place. I'm going to go to the flagship store of Carhartt, the work clothing outfit that is headquartered here in Detroit. So we got the General Motors building right there on the left, and Fisher building on the right up ahead. I'm going to go up here and turn around, so I'm going to say navigate to Carhartt on Cass Avenue.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
No, it won't. Okay. So I'm going to go up here. I got to make a
Now
U.
your destination is on the right.
What's it talking about? Destination on the right. Cass Avenue, man. I'm going to make a UE here. Doobie doobie doobie. Oh, that was the Fisher Theater. That was the previous destination. Okay. That's what it was talking about. Now we're going to Carhartt. Okay. Let's see how we do with that. Put our speed, maximum speed up to 30, which is the speed limit. There's a garbage
In
truck
500
there.
feet, turn right onto Cass Avenue.
That's what it should do. Turn right on Cass. There's a car there.
Now
Stop.
turn right onto Cass
Uh-oh,
Avenue.
I had to take it out because there's a bike lane and there's a car sitting in the right lane, and it didn't know what to do. So, I'm gonna do that. Okay. And let's go. Let's put it back in FSD. And all it's got to do now is just go straight down Cass. That's all it's got to do. Coming up to the light. Car in front of us, it's stopping a little aggressively. Too far back. I don't know why. Let's see if it'll go when the car goes. There's a bus only bus lane thing there, but I don't know why it would stop for that. When the light goes green, oh, now the light went green, now it's pulling up. And now, throttle a little bit. Now we're going straight. We got barriers on the right. We got going under the train bridge. Cars on the right. Got a stop sign. See if it sees that stop sign. It does. Okay, it stops. Doesn't see anybody. Knows we're going straight ahead. It's taking a little too cautiously. I gotta tell it. Because it's not going, and the people behind me getting a little anxious. And I don't know how it deals with the steam. Does it like that steam? We're coming up on this intersection. And it's cautious, sees the steam. We got to make it go again. Because he don't want to go. See that steam coming out the ground. Detroit citywide heating system. And so now,
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
by the way, I'm gonna save that footage of the steam. Okay. So man, I can't tell you how many disengagements we've had. It's been a lot. So what I'm just gonna do, back in full self-driving, and there's the Carhartt store. I'm gonna take it out.
Now your destination is on the left.
Oh, man. Okay, so there's Carhartt. I'm not gonna shop or anything because I gotta go and pick up the little girl from school. So that's it for today. We came down to the D, straight down Woodward Avenue, and you can see that there are a lot of mildly anomalous situations that the car is in no way capable of dealing with at this time. So this gives us a good benchmark because we can just leave the house, turn right on Woodward, see how we take that, and come straight down Woodward into the city. With the subsequent releases of the software, we'll be able to see if the vehicle is getting smarter. But as you can also see, we are not ready for prime time. Signing off for right now. See you next time. Peace.